Hey, and welcome to day 5 of our NCL Mexican Riviera trip on the Norwegian Jade. We've passed all of our destinations in Mexico, and now the ship is cruising back to San Diego, and we are making really good time, even though the sea is a little bit bumpy on both days 5 and 6. We're going to find some exciting things to do on the ship, just enjoying, get some final photos and video of the ship for some cruise tour reviews. But let's get cooking on day 5. A sea day on the Norwegian Jade. Thanks for following along. Oh, good morning. Welcome to day 5. We're going to do a nice little walk around the pool deck. You can see that early this morning, the seas are actually quite nice. Some people getting some sunshine, reading a book, enjoying this morning. We're going to do what we always do. We're going to start at the buffet, check out the scene at the buffet, which this morning, again, never any lines, always well managed. Big operational props to the buffet team on the Norwegian Jade. I have to say, it really is an important area of the ship to keep running effectively, and I did not see any time at all that there was a line in any portion of the buffet. It was freshly stocked, was really well done. I gotta say, I'm not one to give props to a buffet on a cruise ship, but this team did a real nice job. So this is what the buffet looks like in the morning, but as you know, we're going to head down to Grand Pacific. Before I head down to Grand Pacific, I did just catch some sunshine in the back, the great outdoors area, with 1 cup of coffee and a couple bites of some pastry, just to really catch in the sunlight and the ocean breeze, which was really, really nice. Again, as a reminder, La Cucina, which we'll be going to tonight, by the way, has extended seating for the buffet, which is a lot quieter. I'm taking the stairs and getting as many steps in as possible today because I do intend to really enjoy my time at specialty dining. And because I'm on the ship, I'm not moving around as much in port. So I always think it's a good idea if you can to get some steps in, take the stairs when you can. It just helps out. But we are taking a lot of steps. We're going all the way from deck 12 down to deck 6 to go to Grand Pacific. So I'm definitely getting those steps in today. Couple things about day 5 and day 6, or the last 2 days. Guest services is going to be busier these days, as is Cruise Next, because people realize they're running out of time to either purchase Cruise Next or maybe they have some kind of billing issue. And a lot of people on a cruise ship, they see this $20 service charge and they're like, what is this? Because the cruise lines don't do a great job of explaining that. So a lot of people you'll find in line on the latter days of the cruise are just looking at this service charge that they sometimes call a gratuity, and they're going to guest services to get that explained, etc., etc. So that's why you see a little bit more action down here at the customer service area. But it's also a reminder, if you need to take care of something, the last 2 days are really not the best days to do it. Now remember, to get to Grand Pacific, you go all the way to the back of Deck 7 by the Tradewind shopping area and then down to Deck 6. You actually can't get to Grand Pacific on Deck 6. This is kind of a quirky thing about cruise ships of this generation. But let's go ahead and get seated for a nice calm and relaxing breakfast in Grand Pacific. I'm hoping I get a window. Oh, I'm getting a window. So the sun is really pouring in, and it's quite beautiful in the Grand Pacific. You know, I've had consistently good experiences here, and one of the things, if you're wondering, like, why do I do this channel, it's really because I think cruising is one of the better ways to enjoy a vacation. It's such good value in terms of what you can get, but I also think that the cruise industry has, really become victim of, really everything else, which is like they're just cutting. I want to help you learn how to really take the max from it and demand more from your cruise company. You deserve to have a great vacation, and a lot of times people just don't ask or don't insist on getting the things they need to have a necessarily great vacation. So part of what I hope to accomplish with this video and future videos is, really teaching you how to do that. I ordered the egg and avocado wrap. I ordered a side of turkey sausage and a grilled tomato. So I went a little bit different today. This was how much a side of tomato and sausage was. Maybe a little miscommunication there. All right, it's quite windy out, so you're going to get some of that wind noise. I apologize for that. But after breakfast, I'm actually going to do a few laps around the outside of Deck 7 just to get my steps in and whatnot. And then I'm going to go to the spa. So I'll do a quick time lapse so you can watch a couple laps around, see what it's like to go around the full deck. It's windy, but it's still pretty nice. And then the last thing I would say is, you know, I really waited quite a long time in main dining. Oh, thank you. I waited a long time in main dining. It was over 40 minutes, I believe, in total. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with it and just gotta have fun. And so, you know, I took that perspective. I hope you can take that perspective too. But look how nice it is outside. Even though it's very windy, it's so pretty. Anyways, I'll take a walk around. Quite a few people gathered in the atrium, the main area here, for a fruit carving demonstration. They had 2 master chefs demonstrate their fastest and best fruit carving techniques. Everyone really enjoyed that. It was quite a crowd, as you can see. If you didn't get close enough to see up close, you could watch on the big screen right behind. And then I went back to the spa to relax for part of my morning. It's a really good thing to do on a sea day because you have the extra time. During my time on the NCL Jade, there was not really ever a time where it felt crowded in the spa area, though there were definitely times that were busier than others, and sea days are almost certainly always going to be busier than non-sea days. This is footage from our review, which we conducted while the spa was closed. Today's a sea day, and most of the ship is quite chaotic because everyone that might normally be on shore is all clamoring to find something to do. But Spinnaker is still very relaxed, and it's a very good vibe. So if you're looking for a quieter place to just enjoy, play some cards, or have some fun, not enough people check out Spinnaker Lounge. It's sort of the observation lounge of Norwegian Jade. And it's really, the fit and finish of the caliber of the design is quite high. And I have to give NCL props for this one. You really don't see the trim and finishings in a lot of these areas as you do here. It's really well done. So I spent a good majority of this day, day 4, filming a full ship tour from different perspectives and angles and different equipment, which is why I'm right now in front of Magnum's and Mixer's cocktail lounge. These ended up being 2 of my favorite areas in the ship, and so I thought, you know, since I'm getting some ship tour in, I might as well reinforce on this day 4 that I did find myself spending a lot more time in this area, and this was a really great socializing area. The music here was actually some of the best music on the ship, and the space is just really a nice spot. It's a good, relaxing spot to grab a drink, and the bartenders here, without question, are the best on the ship. There was a lot more entertainment during the daytime because it is a sea day, but one of the themes that was persistent today, as I mentioned in an earlier video, was a lot of the activities were actually just thinly veiled opportunities to sell you things, which isn't really an activity at all. After I spent a good chunk of the morning doing a ship tour, I stopped at Ocean's for lunch, and it was, like I said, one of my pieces of feedback about Ocean's on the ship is it never felt really crowded. If you go to Ocean's, you do have to have this sort of signature pretzel bites. It's kind of a thing for Ocean's, so don't miss it. So if you were on the NCL Jade and you happen to see me around the ship with the camera and you happen to be one of the really nice people who are like, hey, what channel is your channel? Well, here you go. Here's some behind the scenes footage of me grabbing some of the ship tour videos and enjoying that experience. It's just something I really like. I would say I point this out because if you have feedback about how you want to have these videos or information that you want to have in these future videos, please let me know. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the suggestions, the things you want to see, and you know, if there's something that we do when we film that you don't like, let us know too. Constructive criticism is also always welcome. All right, so most of my day I've spent filming B-roll footage for the cruise video. Now I'm going to go ahead and see. I do have a reservation at 8 o'clock tonight at La Cucina. Something tells me to try to switch to teppanyaki, so I'm going to see if I can switch my 8 o'clock reservation to teppanyaki. Had a lot of fun today. meeting some random people, saying hello, and introducing myself. And anyways, I'm gonna try to see if I can move my La Cucina to teppanyaki, because I don't know, something just tells me that that might be a better experience, but let's go find out. Oh man, the sunset is just so nice right now. I had to step out and enjoy it, even though it's really windy. So there's actually no one at the restaurant reservations desk right now. So it says the restaurant reservation desk opens from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kindly dial 050 or proceed to Oceans for assistance. No worries. So it's actually 5:15, I believe. So I guess we'll go ahead and go up to Oceans. Lots of people tend to, like to take photos. I think of the cruise lines, Norwegian does not have the best deal on cruise photos. Sapphire Princess actually includes it with their top tier package, which is a major benefit. And I wish Norwegian would consider doing something similar. So all of that is to say, I never get the photo package. But let's see about Oceans, because that's where we need to go to change my reservation, if that's even an option. I ended up deciding that I was not going to change my reservation from La Cucina. I kind of wanted to. I passed the time that I would be charged a penalty. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and go to the 6:30 show of Blazing Boots in the theater, the Stardust Theater. It's the premiere show called Blazing Boots. Good evening. And we'll check that show out, which is at 6:30. And we'll go grab dinner at La Cucina at 8 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun.
As well, helping out for the shows each night. Now, I hope that this week as well, we gave you a cruise of a lifetime. A lot.
Alright, so that was the production show Blazing Boots, and now I'm en route to the customer service desk because I do not have my key. I don't know where it went. I suspect I may have left it in the room, but that's not like me, so... Alright, so I'm at guest services because I do not know where my key is, which is a real shame. I don't know what happened to it. I'm guessing it might be in my room, but we'll find out. Unfortunately, as the cruise comes to a close, the wait at the guest services desk becomes longer and longer and longer. There's a Coldplay cover band, I guess. So there are worse ways to have to wait in line. The technical elements of the production were excellent. 5 out of 5. The performance was a 2 out of 5. And I struggle with saying that, but I think that a big part of my feedback is like I can try to have a positive spin on all things Norwegian, which I generally do. However, I have to be honest with you. And the production staff, the production performers, are a 2 out of 5. I'm starting to learn to be honest in my feedback, and my honest feedback is so far the production team, the big shows on the Jade are a letdown. All right, welcome to this review of La Cucina. La Cucina on NCL Jade is located on deck 12. It's actually right behind the bar, and La Cucina is extended seating for the buffet as well, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you. But I've dined on La Cucina on every Norwegian ship that I've been on, and it's one that we always pick as specialty dining. It's a really great value, so we're going to see if La Cucina holds up like it's held up on the other ships on NCL Jade. We've got an 8 o'clock reservation on day 5. So La Cucina has a pretty extensive wine list, both by the bottle and by the glass, and then it has the appetizer menu, a pizza, and the main course. So I'll keep you posted here. All right, so La Cucina, I say this often, reminds me a lot of Olive Garden. That's not a dig at Olive Garden or a plus for La Cucina, but it's similar in terms of food quality and portion size and just overall look and feel, at least on these older ships. La Cucina on the newer Prima Class and Prima Plus class ships is a much different experience, but I had a good time here. I would say overall it was a 3.5
out of 5 experience.
Okay, so that sums up our experience at La Cucina. Overall, a very good dining experience. A couple things that I would point out would be food quality was definitely 5 out of 5 in terms of the total meal experience.
So my last bit of feedback here on day 5 is quite simple, and that is it's okay to just enjoy being on the ship doing nothing. I think I pushed myself to try to do a lot of things to take video, but it is okay just to enjoy being on the ship, just to lounge around, have a good time. Don't feel obligated to do everything on the daily. Well, I did notice one thing on the daily, which was tonight there's both karaoke and a glow party, so let's make sure we check that out. Well, that's going to do it for our sea day, day 5 on the Norwegian Jade. We're heading back to San Diego, and we have one more sea day before returning to our home port. If this is your first time watching any of our videos, I want to let you know we've got an entire ship review of the Norwegian Jade, deck by deck, venue by venue. It's comprehensive and complete, so be sure to check that out, as well as our other days in and around the Norwegian Jade on our 6-day San Diego to Mexican Riviera tour. If you're following along, thanks for following. We'll check you out for the next video. Stay safe. Happy travels.